Going on, guys? Joey Peapod here
With Rodney, Rodfest.
Rod Fest. Yeah, today we're gonna be, everybody always asks, both of us, I'm sure, what's the best inserts? What should we buy? They don't even know, half of what exists in the '90s. So we took it upon ourselves to, break it down as best we can. Like there's endless amounts of inserts. And there's some that I literally didn't even bother ranking, like any Pacific insert, not like parallel.
Yeah.
Because most of them to me they're all kind of in the same range, besides like a
Mhm.
few. But yeah, I figured let's kick it off. With,
Yeah.
we're gonna start at the bottom, work our way up.
hmm And this is something that we've been asked a lot, well, individually, and then even I guess since we started recently, is people asking about either the value of a certain insert from the '90s, or what do you think I should focus on if I just came in, or I'm relatively new, or I'm returning. And everybody's different, and they collect what they want to collect. So however you and I may answer those to those people directly, it really depends on what is it that the person that we're talking to is trying to focus on. What are their
Mm-hmm.
goals in collecting? And if they are, and we are just talking about '90s, gosh, if we try to do it 2000s, that'd be mind blowing. But
Yeah, 2000s would take me like forever. There's a lot of stuff. I feel
yeah,
like that's why to me the '90s is great, because once there's still some '90-ish inserts in
mhm,
like 2000 and maybe
yeah,
2001, but after 2001 it's really just the year of the parallel and
the parallel, the game
goal. Yeah,
used, yeah,
yeah, and there's not
and
really much you know what's the word I'm looking for, innovation. It's kind of the same old shit year after year.
mhm. Yeah, and that's why we do '90s. I mean, it's so popular, and it always has been with us. But then, I guess within the last decade, '90s has exploded across all the sports. And it really comes down to the innovation, the design, the rarity, and a lot of what you see even in the modern is now it's replicated, and it started from stuff that was built or seen in the first time in the '90s. So um, that's
and
why, like, coming back to why we're doing this beyond just '90s theme, it's because this is a common theme that we're asked a lot. And I thought we both thought this would be fun to just identify within the '90s inserts and parallels. Can we put them into tiers? And we did our best, and we're about to show that with everyone. Joe and I both did this separately. We only briefly looked at it before here to kind of keep it. I don't know, mystery is kind of a strong word, but that way it's kind of
yeah,
so you can see two different perspectives. Um, and there are some inserts that are exclusive to certain people, certain players. Obviously, the stars more so than others, and we highlighted those. Autograph, like really rare, low numbered autograph sets, are identified, um, and we'll just go through accordingly. So, if you want to kick it off, Joe,
yeah.
we'll start
I
at the
just
bottom,
wanted,
like you said.
yeah, two more notes to that is
Mhm.
obviously like I based mine on where kind of Griffey would rank in most of the sets, but I
Mhm.
tried to be like overall, like, all right, where would this set rank?
Yeah.
And then also, I've gotten asked a lot of where, like, new people coming in, like a lot of these, just you're gonna see stuff that just doesn't come up, and that's
Mhm.
part of the thrill of the hunt. But that's another topic. But yeah, I'll kick it off. My bottom tier is kind of like, I could have went way deeper, but the first one I threw on my list was the '93 Dufex.
Mhm.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'll go through it on. So
There
this
you
was
go.
my first pick, and the reason this is my first pick is you know we could have spent so much time picking out a ton of inserts. I just tried to keep it like this one is the first ever Dufex set. It was only released in a box. Actually, I have the box right here.
Mhm.
Let's see. So these sometimes come up on eBay. It's a 30 card set. And this was given away. I got to learn where my camera is, but it was given away at a show. To show the test of it. So now those are worth pretty good money sealed. So we got next up on my list. This one is actually not really worth a ton of money. At one time, I thought it would be, and it really, it's not. But it's, it's given to dealers as a show promotion. To me, it's just a cool card. I have it actually on my framed on my wall as well. Next up, so then clearly dominant. Upper Deck has so many insert sets, and a lot of them kind of get repetitive. But this one was numbered to 250.
Yeah, that's one I didn't list, but I think I forgot. And also, the other people. So you all know the Zenith big picture. That's an 8x10. That's not a standard size card. If that was a standard size card, that would be even better.
So just to give you guys like a little quick, on the wall right there, got my little three-way setup. So then we got the clearly dominant. Then we got the amazing greats. So this one's, the die cut version, the regular one, I think was 2,000. This is numbered to 250. It's got like a foil textured front. So this one, and I didn't put backs on all of them just because it would be here forever. But this is a very popular insert set. And then I show back to highlight, which will be a theme in the 90s because a lot of new people don't understand it, and even some people have been around don't understand it. It says 5,000, but it's only the first 250 are die cut. So Donruss, did that a lot through the 90s. Donruss and Leaf. So you'll see a lot of insert sets that look like that. Then we got the Power Alley die cut. Again, same thing on the back. It's numbered to 4,000, but there's only 250 of this one. Then we got the Epic set. So these are they're not serial numbered, but the Epic moments are numbered limited to 30. People get confused sometimes because of the it says All-Star on some of them. That was in the All-Star score set. So only the one that says moment. If you want, there is unreleased ones that Rodney's pretty versed in. If you wanted to touch on that, or you do have that on your list.
Yeah, I had that on an upper, like a higher up tier. But the Epics moments. This is what the Epics moment looks like. It looks like a kaboom. Those are the ones that are numbered to 30. The All-Star Epics have a completely different foil pattern background. Even though it still says Epics moment, it also says All-Star. So that's kind of the two distinguishing factors.
Yeah. And like to me, this is like a 50th tier 90s baseball insert, and it's something like they finally have something with foil in it for current, and everybody flips out. Like the kabooms aren't really that cool in my opinion, but literally it's the same exact pattern. They probably had like leftover foil in the factories. Next on my list is so this one's kind of they did have this in series 1 and series 2, but it had a different like background to it, or different, I guess, a whole different design. And then series 3 only, I think I had Jay Buhner and like Ben Grieve. So there wasn't that many players in the set, but on the back it's numbered to 300. And then like Jay Buhner has a piece of actual game bat right here. For some reason they didn't put that on Griffey. So let's go a little more. You want me to do this whole tier?
Yeah, go ahead. You go for it, and then I'll go after.
So next on the list, I have the Illuminators. As you can see, so some of the years, as you can see, say Illuminator. This one actually says it on the back.
Yeah, the 99s do, but 98s they don't.
Yeah, like this one, I left the that's a box cutter in the background. Just so you could like see it. Actually, I sent this to PSA because they labeled all of them wrong. So hopefully they fix it. But and same thing with this one. Like this one is usually like this is the only I have one, but I didn't take a picture of it. But a lot of times, again, it has to be clear. So if you have it in hand and you can't see through it, it's not an illuminator. It's a luminescent. So
yeah.
But those are tough, and those seem to get a good amount of love.
They do,
overall.
yeah. But lately, the illuminators, I think within like the last 6 months, have, especially the 98s, the 298 versions, have really gotten a little bit more demand or love. So
And then yeah, and then like a side note is I'm not ranking these like with condition, because if I ranked it like Griffey,
oh yeah,
price, and whatever, it'd be a completely different list. So it's just general.
yeah,
And
same here. These are all, I did all mine raw, because the
yep,
grading is just another element to it. So
right. But even though you see 99% Griffey pictures between the two of us,
yeah,
that's why we call it Griffey. So
yeah,
next on the list is Fleer hot gloves. This
mm,
set over the past couple of years has definitely gained a lot of notoriety. But
yeah.
it's a cool set.
Yeah, and some people may not know that the flames are actually heat sensitive. It'll turn like a light orange to a white color. Um, it, with your fingerprints. Some people I know have taken like a hair dryer. That I don't know about that, but as far as condition wise, but that's another like layer of coolness to why the '97 hot gloves are on the higher. I think they're on the highest part of the tier on mine than any of the others. So
Yeah. So next up, I had the MVP promotion. So this set is extremely rare to find. The backs are just like a promotional, and then all it has is the stamp. So on the back, it was
mm,
like you filled it out to mail it in. Um, and they very rarely come up. Like this was the first Griffey I had seen at the time. I got this at the National in like
mm-hmm.
2018. But they don't really sell overly well, like you would think they would for how rare they are. That's one of those sets. And as the theme will be in this, is you'll see some cards that are low numbered toward the bottom because they're just not, overly popular. But
Yeah,
they are rare.
really good point, Joe. There's some cards that, because it's not well known that these are numbered to 100, or there's a print run of 100, and they have a kind of a basic look to them, they're overlooked by the masses, which, more people are going after a car that drives up demand, and in turn, of course, how much you're paying for it. This is a prime example of a really rare card from the 90s that if you know about it, you'll appreciate it. But if you don't, you'll skip over it, or you may even miss it in a dollar box or a $10 box. So
And what makes it even worse is like the ones with like league leaders or 2 or 3 players on them. There's
it
no
doesn't even have
MVP
that.
promotion
Yeah.
logo, so
Hmm.
you only know from the back.
Yeah. So yeah, like Mike just said in our chat, Michael Peckus, he's saying those are low key ghosts to find without huge prices. So it's like it works for the people searching for it in terms of how much it's going to impact your wallet, but at the same time, it also prevents it from being in a higher tier because
Right.
it's just not known. So
Um, see that. All right, next on my list. So this one was kind of like I had an asterisk off. Um, for those that
mm,
don't know, there's 2 versions of this. There's one that's the winner, obviously, and then once you mailed it in, they had the certified winner. So 93s are very plentiful. Like literally almost every set I bust had one. Like I feel like they just gave out stacks of those things.
mm,
But like the 94 winner was like one in. There's like a bunch of different odds, but it's like one in 3,600 packs. Some of
yeah,
the jumbos were like one in. It was long odds, so they very rarely come up. I haven't seen one in a few years, and the last well-centered one sold for like $200. No, it's
mm,
$400, and that was like a couple years ago. So
yeah,
um, it's got obviously 44 players on it. So set collectors, that's a big set collector card or player collector card, I should say.
yeah.
Next up, then I have the hitting machines, the gold medallions. This is another set that if you went by odds, they're 1 in 2880, but there are a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
And even me personally opening Ultra, like the next card on my list, back to back,
Mhm.
like the regular ones are 1 in 72 packs. One time I opened 6 boxes and I pulled 8 of them.
Yeah.
So,
Correlation. Yeah.
yeah, the correlation isn't that great, but it's still people love this set. They're not worth a super ton like probably they should be, but
Hmm.
they are condition sensitive. Home Run King, same thing. It's made out of wood. And actually, the reason that there were redemptions is because the first run of the product, they didn't like how it looked, and he didn't want to like give it away like that, so they reissued them and as redemptions. And then same all the gold medallions were redemptions. Those
Mhm.
are actually I actually that's one I could have put on the list. I didn't. Is the gold medallion with the redemption back is like
Yeah, that's like a
insanely hard to
super.
find. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. The back to the I guess the home run king.
Hmm.
The I've seen what the original ones. If anybody's seen the redemption ones, like those were supposed to be what you saw, and it's um, the foil on the home run king is actually like really dull, and like the grain of the card is, I mean, it's feels like really really fake wood. At least on that one,
Yeah.
it looks like somewhat wood grain real.
Right.
So it's like I agree with the call that they made.
Yeah, they're wicked trash looking. And then
Yeah.
yeah. Next on the list is the Thunderclap gold medallion. These get a lot of love.
Yeah.
And they were rare. Like I just saw like a Kirby Puckett sold for like $450. But
Strong.
even commons get like $60. So
Mhm.
and obviously super condition sensitive. Fun fact: the guy that has the PSA 10 up now, he paid $100 for that like years ago, back in the
Mhm.
day of the Griffey. Um, Next up, then I got the collector's choice instant winners,
Mhm.
97 and 98. As you can see right here, it usually has a date, July 8th through whatever. The
Mhm.
instant winners are 1 in 720 packs, and they're just pretty impossible to find. I've only, this year of the disc Griffey, I've seen probably like 4 or 5, and then the 97. I mean, the 98 one's a little rare in my opinion. I haven't seen as many, but
Yeah.
they just hardly ever come up.
Joe, can you explain why the instant wins are so hard, or why they are so rare beyond just odds?
I would, it's kind of a mix of it's a trash product,
Hmm.
and I'm sure a lot of people didn't really, there was a lot redeemed actually because they have the
Yeah.
sets you get. I've seen a ton of the sets,
Hmm.
um, and just mixed with, it's anything out of collector's choice. It had a big checklist.
Yep.
Um, how many were in this set? I think I just saw it
Oh,
right
a
here.
lot. And then
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
the
30 a
odds.
30 card set, 1 in 720 packs, and then a lot of people redeemed them.
Redeemed
You
them.
know,
Yep.
a lot of redemptions, and then if you didn't redeem, you probably had no clue really what it was. You probably, if you're just thumbing through it as a kid,
Yeah.
you kind of just so that's going to be a common theme here with the collector's choice inserts that are rare. Is like they usually go for big money, and they usually
Mhm.
beat up too because collector's choice
Mhm.
was like a shitty foil pack, that
In retail. Yeah.
yeah, there's always that. I remember going to CVS. That was my spot. They're right on the corner. They just threw them
Mhm.
on a little thing. They didn't really
Yeah.
care. Um, then we got the Leaf Limited Lumberjacks Black. These are out of 500. Again, really tough. I mean, like this set was when this set came out, was kind of higher end, I guess you could say for the time. But it's
Yeah.
kind of like a trash set. Like there's not really much you can pull besides these.
Yeah. You bring up a really good point. 96 Leaf Limited. In 96, there were a handful, I'm gonna guess less than 10 inserts or parallels that were numbered 500 or less. Like this is one of them. You have the century marks from Leaf Signature. You have the raves. You have the studio press proofs. I mean, again, that's off the top of my head. Like I think
Yeah,
that might
Leaf
be it.
Signature.
Yeah, the Leaf Signature Century Golds, the raves, the press proofs, studio silvers, and then these. And others might be rare, like the 96 Ultras, but none of those have a print run. So, like you
Yeah,
said, this is for its time was a big time serial numbered rare card.
and then with the name Leaf Limited, I don't think they printed an overabundance of the stuff, but it's
Mhm.
not something you really see that much, box wise. But yeah, it's just a tough insert.
Mhm.
Uh, Next up, so I did 99 Team Finest. So this is probably the first entry of mine that I would say is, it's numbered to 150, but they don't sell that great. It's
Yeah.
kind of on the lower tier of inserts. Uh, and then the colored ones were only available in jumbo boxes, so that's what makes them a little different.
Yeah.
Next up is certified marigold. These actually like weren't really doing that well until like a year ago, I would say, or two
Yeah.
years ago. They were
Hmm.
kind of, you know, obviously the story on these is when they first come out, Pinnacle didn't say they had a print run, but everybody assumed they were 30 because they were the same odds. And then people, there's guys there with like 75 to 100 of one guy. So it basically
Yeah.
got debunked that they were 30.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
Griffey used to be $60. That's was like as high as I remember seeing it. And
Yeah. And I think in the 90s in the Beckett, I mean, I have a 99. I think it's still listed at a couple. Actually, let me look at it right now. Because I remember these listed for thousands back in um, around that time. So 100 times the base card. Yeah. Well, that's only 250. But it's like it came up, down, and now it's just slowly going back up. It's still a respectable card. It made the tier list, right?
yeah, and my Beckett, this was from December of 2000. It was $210.
Yeah. This is August of or April of '99. I bet if they're and it's 250. If we had one that was in like the release date a month after in
Yeah.
'97, you'd really see the thousands. So yeah.
But yeah, so this is another set. But the big thing with this set too, is very condition sensitive. Usually they have like refractor lines, even
Yeah.
PSA 10s. I've seen them just from old labels. So
Yeah. And if you peel these, sometimes you see some residual of where it says peel off, and it's not like it's baked onto the card. It's more of like if the card itself had seen too much light exposure, the shadow, it's almost like when you take down a sign that's been hanging up too long outdoors and you take it down, you expose the wall behind it and you see like not an imprint, but a shadow. I've seen that. I used to have one where I peeled it off, and I see like a part of it that says "peel off" on the card, and I'm like, well, okay, that just damages the surface, but whatever.
yeah, because that happens. That part doesn't happen. But even when you peel like a finest or something,
Hmm.
sometimes there'll still be like residue that you have to wipe off. You can't just peel it and expect the surface to be perfect. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's even scratched underneath too. So
Yep.
next up, so I put the shout out to all the like I this picture I pulled off of eBay. That's why it's so fuzzy. But like 99% of people that list stuff have the worst pictures ever. It's the side note right there. So if this is yours, gotta step your scanning game up. But so this is 99 Prism, and these are out of 80. Again, something out of 80 for what it is. They don't sell like overly well. It's kind of that's a kind of common theme with most Pacific inserts. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
all because there are a couple upper tier ones, but most Pacific stuff for whatever reason just does not sell well at all.
Yeah, and you look at this, like this has the hallmarks of like what could be a great card, and I think like the only thing that's holding it back is the brand or the release itself. Like it's numbered to 80. It's on the front. You see the serial number. The holographic blue is pretty commonly cool card looking like design to most collectors. Yet these are in the fifth tier or the bottom tier.
Yep.
Is
And
what
it's
it
got
is.
like nice action etching
Yeah.
around it,
Yeah.
and it does. It's like a nice looking card.
Hmm.
I feel like Pacific must have got like hand me down cutters, or hand me down factory because all their inserts, all their cards are just cut like with a dull butter knife. So that's another observation that I never understood. But um, so next on the list, I did the 97 Ultras.
Yeah.
What's funny is that they're commonly listed as 200 print run, but on the box it says there's only 150. So I never understood that.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I busted a ton of this stuff, but it says 150 on it. So I was like, and everywhere
Even
it says
better.
200.
Yeah.
But this is another set that I don't know if they were backdoored or the print run doesn't line up because there are people, with forges and stuff, you
Mhm.
know, like last year, I saw one guy kept listing and listing, and my buddy Matt, he bought a lot from somebody. He had a ton of them, but like the platinums use a different picture, which is cool.
Yeah.
So just instead of just using a different foil, they use a different picture, and it's got like the holographic foil is pretty cool on them.
It's pretty
It does
cool.
pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, these are in basketball because of Kobe Bryant's rookie year. Whew, these are massive cards, and they're already condition sensitive, as you can see probably on this one. This is a pretty good, good looking raw copy. But man, Kobe's obviously because it's his rookie year and it's his platinum. I mean, I've seen PSA 4s and 5s for thousands. So
yeah, I mean, in the big, and baseball doesn't have too many rookies in the '90s that are big, but Ortiz is in the set, and his platinum, is a couple grand now, and like okay condition. Never mind like gem condition. So next up we got my tier. When we get to 96 Topps Chrome, that ends my tier. So next up is 97 Finest Gold Refractors. These are 1 in 288 packs. This is a product that's like feast or famine. It's actually like demoralizing to open because I opened 6 boxes once and my best hit was like a 50-cent refractor. Usually you get 2 refractors per box. But again, this is just like one of my favorite poses all time on a card.
Solid.
Next up, we got the 96 Finest Refractor. This is another set that when it first came out, they said there was only 150 of them, and then a guy collected like 200 Greg Maddixes and sued Topps. And this is one I'm sure if you have an early Beckett, these were thousands too when they came out.
Oh yeah, when they first came out. There's a story behind this one too. Like there was a Greg Maddux collector who famously had more. These were supposed to be 150, I believe, is what they were listed at.
That's what I just said.
Oh yeah. And there's a Greg Maddux collector who had more, and he actually settled with Topps. He sued them, and they settled out of court. So there's probably more than 150 if you want to believe the guy. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen enough of these come up. I would believe that for sure. Next up is Black Diamond. This set they're numbered to 150, but there's actually Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and the Griffey are numbered to their home run total. So the Griffey in this set would be higher up on a just Griffey list, as there's only 56 of the Griffey. But this set is kind of lackluster. It doesn't really sell overly great, but they are pretty rare. Let's see. Then 98 Tech Diffractors. There's 90 parallels, as you can see right here. 90 different patterns. So people try to like put them together. These cards are always commonly mislisted. As you can see, I tried to show all the, it basically as like a, cracked ice pattern. That's what a diffractor is. But a lot of people always list these wrong. And then, people, have you ever heard of a print run on these? Because I see people quoting print runs all the time, and I'm like, no, that's not.
Yeah, I haven't heard an exact one. I've heard people speculate, but most people, it's hard for me to understand how people miss this versus looking at a common one. So like this that you're showing does a really good job of really highlighting the difference. Like this is what a diffractor looks like. Yeah.
I mean, I pick up so many of these for like $1. It's like pretty crazy. Like same.
Like Bill just said, it's a shame that they didn't serialize those 98 diffractors. If they did, man, those would be,
they would be huge.
Cardi C Sports, there are people who have a full run of the base set of Tech 98, and also there are a couple guys, I know 2, I don't know if it's been more since then, that have a full run of the diffractors of a specific player. It's wild.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then this is the companion year. This is 99 Tech. They're serial numbered to 10, but again, there's 60 different patterns. So technically not super rare, but like a Griffey in this set will sell for like $300 to $400. where
Hmm.
if it was like a real 10, in another set, it'd be thousands. So, but
Yeah.
these boxes are actually kind of fun to break because you always usually get one, possibly two golds a box. So usually, if you get them cheap enough, it pays for it.
Hmm.
Um, then I did the Stars and Steel. This is
Hmm.
98 Stars and Steel holographic. Uh, Basically, it's like a refractor background. Um, these are pretty tough to find actually. I think this year it kind of dried up.
Yeah. And the cards are
But then
metal, like literally
yeah,
metal.
this is it's like yeah, it's legit like a sheet cut metal. And then you have the next year Stars and Steel, which I took this picture because it's on an angle, but like it's like what do you call them? It's like a puffy,
Yeah.
like a
It's
it's
unlike
like a
any card I've seen made.
it's,
Um,
it's like a marble. Like when you had a marble that had like you could see something inside it. It's got like a weird texture.
yeah,
And
that's
then
actually
the back is metal.
that's a good description. It's like a marble,
Yeah.
but it's raised up. It's domed because it is like a rounded dome on the corners, and the surface, like when you touch it, is like the picture like print is not on the top of the card. It's like
Yeah.
kind of buried in. It's really cool.
Yes, the Stars
Dome
and
acrylic, I
Steel
like that. Yeah.
gold dome
Dome hollow.
holographic, and then
Yeah.
never buy packs of this singly off eBay because you can actually tell which pack has this in it. As soon
Yeah.
as you can see like in the pack and you can feel it, it's a little
Hmm.
heavier. So uh, next up is 95 finest refractor, the third year refractors.
Hmm.
I actually like this year a lot. A lot of people don't, but it's very hard to find like centered copies.
Oh yeah.
But when this came out, I really do like this set. It's not a lot of people's favorite set, but
Mm.
next up I had 99 Topps Chrome. The fourth year Topps Chrome. It's actually I like this picture of Griffey. It's another set. Super condition sensitive. And then a lot of these boxes now when you open them, pack stick. So you
Hmm.
pull in like part of the gloss off, or it's got like a like hazy,
Hmm.
crappy texture to it. Um, then I did the 96 Atomics. This set gets a lot of love. The Jeter and the Griffey both leading the way. It's got a cool, almost like a super fractor type pattern, kind of
Yeah.
a birth of it. Um, and again, just all as with all 90s condition sensitive, but these really pop. I actually have a lot of these different players. It's a favorite set of mine. And then uh, Destination Cooperstown. Um, as you can see, it has a string. That's how they came. This was out of 1998 EX. They're like 1 in 7. Yeah, 100, 1 in 720.
Hmm.
And I had like a pretty strong checklist minus like two players. So these usually sell pretty well when they come up. Actually, this Greg Mag's really nice. Usually they're
Yeah.
like wicked chip to hell, like around that
Yeah.
edge right
You really
there.
see it on the blue.
Uh,
And some of these come without the string. I really think there's a premium of these that come with the string, and sometimes the string that it comes with is cut. So finding these intact, meaning with the string that's not cut, definitely sells for a premium. So just be mindful, any of you all that are looking out to buy a Destination Cooperstown, one without a string, depending on who you are, that may not be a complete card to you. But the ones with it will carry a premium.
then next up, the year before, cut above. This set again, I'm going to say the basketball popularity kind of crossed
Yeah.
over. The ones in basketball don't have the bottom cut, so these are a little different. Usually between all sports, a lot of the inserts do have slight variation. So if like you collect all sports, you get to see different,
Mhm.
cool things. But again, yeah, these are like 97 EX. But it's just a cool looking card.
Really cool.
And next on my list is 98 Topps Chrome. This set's really over the past year definitely taken off, especially the Griffey.
Mhm.
You have like the Ortiz, Roy Holiday. I don't think there's really any like big rookies, but even like commons, they're selling pretty well. At like I saw Jeff Bagwell go for like I think it was like $50.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, back in 2000, Ryan Anderson was the big hit,
Yeah.
and
I
Troy
remember.
Glaus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I probably forgot some stuff out of the set, but and then '94 Topps Finest. Another set. Like I actually like this photo. Some people don't, but overall, like I like the design of the set, and I like the regular base cards too. I think they're pretty cool looking. Um, like I prefer all these designs definitely over what they do today, where it looks like they just threw paint on the wall and like they made the card, with whatever came out of that. But um, when you like, I've opened some of this stuff recently, and they have like it almost looks like you just took them out of a pool, like a slimy pool, like when you pull them out of a pack. They're
Oh
just covered
yeah.
in like a
A
weird
grime.
hazy, yeah,
Yeah.
like super grime. But yeah, this set is popular with me. And then '97 Topps Chrome. This has to be probably a top 5 picture for me, for Griffey. But the set overall is, again, very condition sensitive for all players. Like I think like PSA 10 wise, most of them don't even have over 2. It's like
Mhm.
0, 1, or 2 for almost everybody. But it was a pretty deep checklist, and they had some cool inserts too. Um, but again, another set that's gained in popularity.
Mhm.
And then the Chrome set that kicked it off, '96 Topps Chrome. The big card to get in this set is the Jeter. Um, Jeter's worth the most, probably followed by Griffey. And then
Mhm.
you have a lot of people like over the past year, like even like mild stars are like $50 to $100.
Yeah.
So this set just every year keeps blowing up.
Yeah. I mean, for
And
like you said, kicked it off. This is the first Topps Chrome set in baseball, and is also in
yep,
in basketball too. So
yep, yeah. This set will. I think this set will. It's going to be up there with '93 Finest. Those
mhm.
refractors over the years.
I
So
think when
yeah. So
Fanatics kicks back over, they're definitely gonna. I mean, Topps Chrome in basketball when that returns, it's gonna be huge. But
yeah, no, for
yeah.
sure.
So
That concludes my bottom tier.
yeah. All right. So I don't have my pictures aligned as well as nicely as Joe did. But so instead, you all are going to see a list. But I'll still show some pictures here and there. So I'll work my way from the bottom and also take this time to Dom, what's up? Andrew, what's up? John, what's up? All the guys, I think we said hey. Bruce, what's up, man? Thanks to all of you all for tuning in and interacting. So at the bottom of my list here, we have the. Go to the right window. Metalworks, Pacific Express Metalworks. So these are kind of crazy because they were. I'll actually pull up a picture of these.
Yeah,
Because,
the heavy is the super heavy.
yeah, I mean, if you all could hold this in hand, you feel how heavy it is. It's literally a piece of gold ingot.
Am I?
So, can you all see that,
Hold on.
Joe?
No, I can only see
The list.
your list.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you'll have to highlight the photos in the thing.
gotcha. Well, work with me with you all. Technical difficulties here. Share this. So yeah, this is what they look like. Um, this is like a piece of iron, and then it's just painted in a gold-looking foil. It is numbered to 200, so at the top here, and this is like the thickest promo case you could possibly buy. I recommend if you do put it in a case like this, you put it in a plastic sleeve because it will scratch. So,
So
um,
so I mean, one time I actually shipped one of these, not a gold, just a regular. All I
yeah.
did was put it in a team bag, and it obviously like blew out the team bag. Like I didn't think that went through at the time.
Oh man, yeah. So back to the list. Um,
Am I throwing the
you
list
have the
up?
95 Pinnacle artist proofs. Can y'all see that?
There you
Yeah,
go.
there we go. Um, these are these are the second year, and they're really popular because they're defects. And there were obviously artist proofs, or I'm sorry, the museum collections are defects, but the artist proofs in '95 were, I think they were numbered to 300 or print run of 300. and it's just a simple stamp on it, but they've kind of stood the test of time. They're one of the more popular artist proofs that you have. The 94 Hall of Views from SP. Any of y'all were collecting back then in 94, you'll remember the hype that these had. I mean, when these first came out, they were the top card that you saw in every dealer's case, whether at a flea market or a card show. 94 Bowman's Best Refractor. I'll pull up a picture of that one. You can see this was the first Bowman's Best refractor that they made, and so man, next time I'll have to really get my pictures in line like you, Joe. Sorry, guys. You'll see a big sold thing on here because I sold it, but usually you see a refractor line through this part of his helmet, through the middle part, and then also a horizontal one through the side of his cheek. This one it's very faint. It has a vertical. It doesn't have the horizontal one, and it has a slight touch of greening. But this is like a better copy. This is the first Bowman's Best set in baseball, and also the first refractor. So I think that's why it has a good. It's in that bottom part of that tier. So I'm getting good at going back and forth here. So I'm going to go back to the Excel sheet. We saw the Amazing Greats that you showed. That's also in my bottom tier. All about then by the 95 Bowman's Best Refractor. So that's the second year Bowman's Best Refractor.
95 Bowman's Best, I'll say, is probably the most condition sensitive set in all of baseball.
Yeah.
No Griffey 10s exist. Even the ones that like Andrew Jones and Vladimir Guerrero, the two big rookies. It's just impossible to find cards in that set that are centered and no refractor lines. So
man, that's wild. There's no 10s. I didn't know that. Yeah. Next up on the list is the 97 Leaf Statistical Standouts. And, Leaf is known for that brand or for that insert. And 95, it's the popular one. It looks and kind of feels like a baseball. 97 was really cool because it looks like a glove that actually you can fold out. There's a piece of tape that holds like the thumb of the glove down. And if you can open it up like that, it will. And I've actually seen some statistical standout cards graded with the glove thumb open. That's really weird, but it's kind of cool too. So 98 Circus Rave Reviews is the next one up. These are crazy die cut bronze, a lot of intricate detail. These are out of 98 Circa Thunder. And I think the print run or the odds are 1 in 288, and those are really cool. And now I guess they've kind of gotten lost in the shuffle, but they need some love. And then the next up, I just put all 98 and 99 Pacific premiere dates across all of their plethora of releases. So Pacific Flagship, Omega, Crown Royal 99, etc. They all are like different print runs. The premiere dates, they kind of like I think there's one premiere date that makes a higher cut, and that's 99 Revolution. But these are all kind of lumped in the same. It's just a simple stamp on the card that says premiere date and the serial number, which I think contributes to why it's not really appreciated as much or on a lower tier. Next is the 92 Donruss Elites. Those are out of 10,000. Those are one of the first like insert mania craze hits that people who were collecting back then. I mean, I was only 7 years old then. I didn't even buy boxes or packs of that, but I remember seeing and hearing people rip open box after box after box and still not getting one. And like some people you hear like later on now do. So those are cool. The 97 Flair Showcase Diamond Cuts. I want to highlight that one because that's an absolutely baller one. These are out of Flair Showcase, so the first Flair Showcase release. And when you see these, you'll really appreciate why. So if you share that there. I mean, die cut literally shaped like a diamond at the top, and then a baseball diamond on the bottom. So they're kind of playing a double entendre there. And I mean, that's just 90s right there. It screams 90s, and it's awesome. So these have always been like real, like I would call it low end. I'm to those that consider this to be like not a low end card. I don't mean any disrespect to y'all, but just in the grand scheme of like where all the other cards list. But these have recently, within the last year to year and a half, have really gained some, I guess, popularity because their values, the price that you have to pay for these has definitely gone up.
Yeah, I mean they're only 1 in 20 packs, so it was pretty much always like a lower end insert,
Yeah. So, all right, back to the list. After that, we have the Kramer's Choice from '99. So Pacific was known for its Kramer's Choice. That was its flagship insert, and every single year in the '90s, it was not numbered except for '99. They put it was numbered at a 299 that year. The picture or the design of the card is the same, which is really cool. But the pose and the pictures were always really good. 99 is like his post home run trot. All the others were like him swinging or like a home run trot too. So Joe covered the 99 Illuminators. Those are also in my bottom tier. The Galactic Team for Metal Universe in '98. That's the next one up. Those have always been really cool to me. You have a hologram. It's a simple holographic foil background with the planets or like outer space. But the look of them have always just been really cool, and that's kind of stood the test of time, and people still find it popular. A Griffey of that now sells at like right around 200. The '97 game film. This one was one of my my favorite inserts as a kid, and like I always wanted one, but I could never afford one. In '97, '90s, '98. I'm gonna share this one because this is so cool. And the thing here with these, I remember basketball had these, and my gosh, I remember the Jordan game film, and just that set in basketball were just. I don't remember the exact prices, but I remember as a kid thinking to myself that that's so out of my league as an eighth grade, like an eighth grader. But these are just so cool. You have two pieces of game film, hence the name. It's numbered to 500. You have a little description on the back. And Leaf did these in '94 with a slideshow, but just the way that this was presented in an SP '97 was just so cool. So back to the list. Next one up are the '97 Pacific Kramer's Choice. Again, that's just a different pose, same look. '96 Leaf Limited Lumberjacks Black, number to 500. Joe, you covered that. '97 Starring Role. Like those are really neat. It's a die cut acetate card. Has the same colors as the team. So for Griffey, that was a teal color, see through, and had a die cut star on the upper right part of the card. Those have always been like a popular one, but they've really come on strong lately. Then you have the '96 Pacific Kramer's Choice, and then I lumped together the 299 Diamond Producers and Diamond Immortals. The Diamond Immortals are the one that's intricately die cut. '99 Diamond Producers, considered by some to be one of their favorite inserts from Ultra ever made, and I'll pull that one up too because that has like all of the things that you can think of that represent the '90s all on one card.
That's one card I'd kill to find a gem, and I doubt any exists, but
oh,
that's another
really?
one
So there's no pop,
no,
no tens. Wow. So as I say that, of course, you can see that I sold this copy. I don't have.
Oh, I thought you meant the '98 one. The '98.
Oh no, the '98 one. That's crazy. This is the '99, but '98 is man. If I guess I did. Maybe it's up higher on the list. I can't remember. But this one is die cut acetate, has a cracked foil, a cracked ice finish, hollow foil on it. Awesome pose of the players, name in gold foil. Just this is everything about it, and like these, if these were serial numbered, these are one of those like if I played the what if game, man. If those were like serial numbered to even 200, 150.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. Like those would be crazy, crazy in demand. Um, then I have the 98 Zenith Z Gold. These are really overlooked because 98 Zenith was really a failed product. Those are the ones where you, what you see Allen and Ginter do now, like rip those rip cards. Well, Zenith was the first company and brand that did that. You would rip open a card, an 8x10, to see if you would hit something like a Z Gold. So the rarities there is just like they also have backdoored versions of these that are not numbered, and I think that really hurts the value of these. Rounding out the bottom part of tier 5 here, leather and lumber, Donruss Elite. The front of the card is like a leather type feel. The back is feels like a wood grain. Really cool. The 98 Fleer Zone. These are now we're starting to get into these, like when you see these cards, you're like, damn, that looks awesome. These look incredible. The 97 New Pinnacle, Keeping the Pace. I'll highlight that one because that was one of my favorite cards as a kid growing up. Remember, this is like one of my top chase cards that I thought that I could actually own, and I got it back. I got one, I think, when I was collecting back in the 90s. Stop sharing, share. And the picture, like you hear this so many times, pictures don't do it justice. I tried to capture it, but it's like this matrix foil with the background of like, this is a dark teal, like matches the colors, and it's just after you got a hit. Great photo. I mean, this thing is awesome in hand. So,
and they had 97 New Pinnacle had that promotion. If you got all 4 printing plates of a card, they would give you 25 grand.
yeah.
Pretty.
And,
I doubt anybody did that, but
yeah, I mean, I've never heard, and I've asked some of the guys who've been around longer, and I feel like we would have at least heard a press release from Pinnacle if we had. But man, those are so sweet. So, and then rounding out the top, like as you could probably see, there's 3 versions of my tier 5, the Ionix Warp Zones. So, for tier 2, these will be a little bit faster because some of them are, as my list goes up, it gets a little bit shorter. So at the bottom of these, you're starting to see ones that are numbered to 100, and these are like these. Well, actually, I'll go right here. These 8 right here are grouped because they're all inserts that are 100 or 50, or there's one that's 70 in there too. They have a die cut or a foil that's really neat to them, but they're either a part of a set that there were a lot of them, meaning that in 99 Upper Deck, for example, Upper Deck had so many inserts that were kind of simple looking, and maybe that's what they were going for, but they all kind of run together. So that's why, like the 10th anniversary team triple to 100, the 2 Upper Deck retros were just a different shade of sepia rather than whatever color was used on the card. Dugout Access was a really low-end brand, I guess geared towards kids, kind of like Collector's Choice. And the Dugout Access parallels are just a stamp that says Inside Access, and it's numbered to 50 on the back. The Sheer Dominance Titanium, they look cool. It has like a silverish gray background to them, but I guess everyone was going for the chirographies, and they don't get much love. The Radiance and 99 SPX. 99 SPX wasn't as well received as 98, and the Radiance parallels were just a simple holographic foil on the background. I kind of skipped over the Rave because in 99 Skybox, these are huge in basketball, but in baseball, they're not really that popular at all.
I didn't even put it on my list at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm lumping them in here with you can, and like with these tiers, I guess I didn't really mention like the I'm not going by value, it's more about like demand here. So like the Keeping the Pace or the zones would probably outsell some of these, the retro or the Dugout Access, but it's more of like I can ignore the serial number on some of these. So for this next section here, we've covered a couple of them, or at least I've covered a couple of them too. The Prism Reds are really kind of a new thing, and it's odd. These are like a retail only, but Michael Kramer, if you take his word, in a recent interview, I think within the last 2 years, highlighted how rare these are. The Pacific Prisms Reds were retail only, and specifically in Prism, there's a print run under 100, according to him. So like there was a frenzy of like collectors that were going after these for a little bit. So I'm at least acknowledging that. World Series Fever Extra Edition to 98. That's the only extra edition from all the Sports Illustrated sets that Fleer made that's numbered under 100. And it just has a simple holographic stamp that says Extra Edition on the bottom of it. It's a cool picture of Griffey, though. Joe talked about the holographic blues. I talked about the premiere dates. I taught textbook excellence triples kind of lumped in with, at least I lumped those in with the team 10th anniversary triple, Crown and Glory, those 99 Upper Deck inserts. The first pitch previews from Pacific Aficionado, those are actually given away as part of a redemption. You had to send in an answer to 3 questions that Pinnacle like posted on their website and kind of put it in not in Beckett's, but like shared with dealers. And if you answered all 3 questions right, you mailed in your answer, or you mailed in your answers. If you got them all right, then Pinnacle would mail you back one of the first pitch preview cards of any player. So it's kind of at random. You have the Wonder Years triple from Upper Deck Retro. That's a typo right there. And then you have the Encore Golds, which are from 99 Encore. And for the basketball guys out there, 99 Encore was a popular hit in basketball, but it didn't have the same reception here in baseball, unfortunately. You have the Rookies and Stars, your longevities. These are the subsets, the power tools, and the lineup cards. And those are numbered to 49 because the first card in every longevity set of any player is a 1 of 1. It's actually a holographic version. Longevities are just a foil version. The Pinnacle Certified Mirror Golds, that's the Certified Stars subset. Pacific Invincibles, Kramer's Choice Green. You have the 98 Stadium Club Illuminators. Joe showed his 96 Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor. The 97 Bowman Chrome International Refractor, this is a popular one, and I don't know if it's just driven by Griffey. Maybe, Joe, you can weigh in here. But these are just really cool because it has a flag and has the refractor in the background. So for Griffey, obviously, it's maybe one of his worst pictures ever of him bunting. But
yeah, because there's not very many other players, and it's actually a small set. And then, but 97 international set, 97 Bomb and Chrome set sells. The other set sells well.
Yeah. So I'll show a picture of it.
I got a picture if you need it.
Yeah. I mean, these are cool. I mean, whatever your favorite player is, you have their national flag in the background, and obviously the foil lends well to the refractor. So, but Griffey's bunting. But still, this is a pretty strong card. Reminds me of 4th of July. And then rounding out this second part of Tier 2, we've seen already the Bowman or the Finest Gold Refractor that Joe showed, and then the 95. I like the 95 too, refractors too, Joe. So for my last Tier 5, and then I'll stop talking because I'm not nearly as exciting with my pictures as Joe's are. We got the red labels, Class 1 from both 98 and 99 Topps Gold Label. Topps Gold Label had 3 classes. The Class 1s are the most common of the 3 classes, and therefore for the red labels that are numbered to 100 versus the Class 2, which were numbered to 50, and the Class 3, which are numbered to 25. The Pacific Revolution Shadow Series, this is a cool one because the 98 Revolution base set itself looked really cool. Shadow Series is just a stamp that says Shadow Series on the bottom, on the back, so it can be easily missed by people. Joe talked about the epics. The epics Emerald season, I've ranked those lower than epics moments. Those are like the third hardest to find between play game moment and then or play game season and then moment. Joe talked about the 99 type golds. That's where I put them there. And then I have some of my first two autos that I'm showing. The chirography from 99 and then the 99 upper deck challenges for 70. Those would be, and those are asterisks because they're autos and also because not every player is in those. So for Griffey, this is where I'm ranking those. Those are some of his lowest, in my opinion, 90s autos. They're in tier 5, meaning that you could get those for a few $100. Joe showed the 94 Finest Refractor, the 96 Home Run Kings Gold Medallion, 96 Finest Gold Refractor. Looking back, I'd probably put those two below these two, the SPX Finite Heroes of the Game and Cornerstones of the Game Radiance. Those are both numbered to 100. I'll actually do that right now. I'll put those right here. They're definitely below. So I'm ranking kind of within the tiers. The Top Stars Galaxy foil is just there because it's numbered, and it has an okay look to it, but I may even put that one lower anyways.
Yeah, that one doesn't sell well.
Yeah, it doesn't sell well, but it is numbered to 30, and it's pretty sought after by the collectors that need that one because it's so rare. The Diamond Destiny Golds, those are really tough to find because those are, I believe those came out of a magazine pack. If I'm not, correct me, anybody. But those are really, really hard to find. I know a friend of Joe and I have a mutual friend. They were going after the set and needed the Ozzie Smith, and I think he was going after it for so long, and then he finally completed it here. The 96 Power Alley die cut gold Joe showed. The 99 Ionics Techno Reciprocal. Those are out of 100. It's odd because in 99 Ionics, the reciprocal was the only parallel that they had, and the regular reciprocal of the base set, all the players, those are numbered out of 750. But the Techno subset, those reciprocals were numbered out of 100. So then you have the Pacific Invincible Kramer's Choice Dark Blue. You remember I talked about I showed the 99 or the 98 Kramer's Choice Green. The Dark Blue is the next level below, or the next rarest one at Dark Blue. Then you have the Donner's Preferred Prize Collections Pastime Power, numbered to 55. That's a print run, not a serial number. It's kind of a mouthful to say. Then I have the Curtain Calls Diamond Axis, which is the subset Diamond Axis. We'll see a picture of the base one that's more looks better. And then I have the UD3 Power Chord Rainbow. So this will be the last one that I show before I end the tier. I think these are really cool, but they are definitely underappreciated. UD3 was a set that was, I guess, I wouldn't say unpopular, but just I think it's one of those that just got lost in the shuffle of everything 90s. And this is one of those sets that just gets overlooked.
Definitely hard to find.
Definitely hard to find, but kind of like how I can't find the picture of it right now. But I'll stop there. My last one is the 98 Topps Chrome Refractor, which Joe showed a better picture of. So I will stop sharing now.
All right.
How are we doing on time? Oh, we're at an hour. You want to... Well, I went through at least my bottom tier, and I think you got through at least 2 of yours.
I just went through one. I went through my 4th tier.
Okay, cool. So we both covered
I can do one more.
Yeah. If you want to do one more, and then we'll close it out, because I think my next one is still my next one is actually my longest. Tier 4 is the longest one.
Yeah, my longest is my first, my second, and my other ones are longer. They're basically a bunch lumped into one. But I can breeze through this one.
Yeah.
But,
okay. Cool.
So, I had this. I mean, again, kind of trash, but Griffey's like I mean, one sold for like 330, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's kind of a junk set. All it has is this little stamp, so they're kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
Prominent figures. I think there's like 20 players in the ones that are like it's number to their home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, they're all 70 pursuing Mark
Yeah, they're all
McGuire. That's what
70.
it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is actually a pretty tough set to find. There are backdoor copies as well, but you know, to find serial number ones, it is tough. Retro sign of the times. Griffey's the short print in the set. He's number to 100, but there are other players, and they're all numbered different, and well, not
Mm-hmm.
serial numbered. They're just stated print runs. But like Kirby Puckett's in the set. There's a lot of popular players. Um, you know, and it's another set that to find centered with clean autos is pretty tough. But it's just a clean looking set, and they're also easy to overlook in a box because it's the same picture as the front, but the back has a cert. So if you're just thumbing through, I've done it with Russell Branyan like 5 times. You know, I've pulled like 2 or 3 of his, and then I didn't notice while I was sorting later that I actually pulled an auto because it blends right in with the card. But this is actually one of my favorite Griffey autos. I like when he signs like upwards like that.
Yeah.
And here's the UD3
There you go.
you were trying to find. So as you can see, it's die cut. It's got a holographic foil. You know, and they're just very hard to find. I haven't seen a Griffey come up in years.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, I mean, I only really put this here. Like I consider most upper decks like a step above Pacific inserts.
I agree.
So basically, instead of you know, the base, like it's just a different bronze foil. So it's not that interesting. You know, View to a Thrill. This is actually my favorite upper deck insert out of like
Yeah.
all of them. I would have ranked this like 2 higher, but you have Textbook Excellence again. All that's different is you know, the 3 of them are die cut. It's just a different color right here. You know, Forte. This one's, you know, okay, but again, it looks the same as the others, just a different color. And then this is probably my least favorite of all upper deck inserts. It's just, you know, different color logo right there. And then here's the Zenith you talked about. So I had both of them here. The Z Gold, and then these were the 4x6 Impulse, and you could actually rip the card out in the back. This is serial number 200 as well on the back. And again, yeah, there's like a million backdoors of these now, so it definitely watered it down. This tier is like some of these, like I only put them like I consider this like I hate this insert. Like this year is like both years. I don't know. It's just doesn't do it for me. But let's see. Wonder Years is another one where if you didn't know there was different, like they all pretty much look the same. It's just a different color.
Yeah.
And if you're just like looking at it, you really can't even tell. You have to pretty much check the back on all of them. But like this is numbered to 50. But these are kind of definitely on the weekend. Then I got Crusade Green. You know, because Griffey has a terrible photo, not my favorite set, but I do like this set. Like with other players when they have like good, it is a cool looking card. And all the Crusades are spread out against all different Donruss products. So like 98 Donruss Series 1 had the Griffey and the Jeter, whereas, you know, you had to go through Update, Longevity. Just every Donruss product had a, you know, a part of the checklist in it. So it was tough to complete a full set. Another UD choice. These are number 200. Again, another set where it's like, what is the checklist on this set?
I think it's at least 200.
Yeah. Yeah. So 155 card set.
155. Oh wow. Okay.
And the thing is like, I mean, they probably printed like 10 times more than a normal set because it was retail. You know, it's aimed at kids. So to find your player, you know, it's impossible. But when these do come up, they actually don't sell as well as I think they should. But they do have like a cool holographic, you know, it says prime choice right there, reserve. So let's see what's next. Team Finest Red. You know, again, these are 50, but they don't they don't sell overly well. And again, they're only available in jumbo packs.
Mm-hmm.
So then Griffey's not in any of these sets, so I kind of tried to help the whole '90s market out here. But you got '98 century marks, so '97 century marks, and as you can see, they just started at one. They didn't put a slash, so a lot of people kind of get these confused as well. And again, with the blue edges, super condition sensitive, but they had a pretty deep checklist.
Yeah.
And then '96 century marks. This is the first year of Leaf signature, and this is actually groundbreaking. At the time, it was like $20 a pack or $25
Yeah.
a pack, and every pack had an autograph.
Mm-hmm.
This Jeter in a high grade is over 10 grand.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely one of the bigger '90s Jeters. And I had the Techno reciprocal. There's that. Then you got Century Legend Century Collection. It's a pretty cool insert set. There's a lot of retired players in it as well. A lot of players actually have two cards because there's a subset, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just '90s die cut. Just they're pretty tough to find overall. They don't come up as often as most do. Next up, so here's one that would be on the list where different players, would be at different tiers. Like this Mike Piazza is numbered,
Mm-hmm.
so they changed. Each player had a different total. So this Mike Piazza is actually 987. That's what this one's number two. So if anybody doesn't know how to find print runs, just go to Beckett.com and search the card, and it'll tell you what it's number to. So, for instance, the Griffey's 56, where the first 56 is die cut. What else we got? So looking at the checklist, Griffey 56, Frank Thomas 347. Oh, Mike Piazza is actually 40. I looked at the wrong player. Greg Maddux is out of 20. Nomar's out of 11. So you got a lot of different players that you have to research and see, but but it's a cool looking card.
Mm-hmm.
Then the longevity, we discussed that one. Out of 49, first one's a 101. Spectrum, these cards are again super condition sensitive. This is like the only card out of the set I actually like.
Yeah.
I think I put this one in the wrong spot, but maybe not.
I really like that silver, that big part that it says power explosion is really pops.
Yeah, and the card itself does have a good shine to it. It does pop, unlike the other cards in the set. Then I have the mirror image. So this one was actually a stealth insert. It's not announced on the packs, and people always mislist these. I've gotten like at least 5 Griffies for $30, atomics over the years. But as you can see, the difference is Jose Cruz Jr. is in the big spot, Griffey's in the little spot. That's why it's called inverted. Barry Bonds is on the back of this one, so that makes this one pretty cool. But these seem to sell pretty well when they pop up. Next up is Crown and Glory, 1999 Upper Deck. As you can see, McGuire's on the back, numbered to 25. For a 25 insert, it's really just not. Plain it doesn't bring top tier money. Yeah, it's pretty plain. Yeah, it's just kind of ugly in my opinion. I had one, I sold it. I mean, that one probably could be again. This is another one where super ugly. Like the only difference is this border right here is a different color.
Yeah, so it's really hard to admit. Like the difference between this one and the base, which is not numbered at all, you'll only be able to tell unless you have a keen eye or it's side by side. Right. And then, of course, if you turn it over on the back, you see that it says numbered out of 25.
Yeah, I literally turn over every one of them just to see because it's so it's just kind of boring. Next up is the Kramers. I'm a big Kramer's Choice fan. These actually don't sell as well as I think they should, but the Griffey, they've been getting more love. But I actually opened up some blaster boxes and pulled the Ripken Gold, which I was so pumped to pull that. But just seeing what they came out of is cool. And I'm surprised they aren't all super beat up. But the green really pops. The ones that are flat aren't really that cool.
Yeah.
But the dark blues out of 80, and then you have, as you can see right here, they're hand numbered on the back. Backdoor copies do exist, unfortunately, that aren't numbered at all, but the real deals are hand numbered and thin marker. And then here's the blue, light blue, out of 50. This is Ultimate Victory Parallel 100. You know, it does say 100 right on the front of the card. This card actually really pops a lot.
Yeah.
This card was big because of Rick Ankiel. He was like my man back in the day, but that was that was the big insert card at the time when the stuff came out. I think Josh Hamilton might be in this set too. But then we got Preferred. So this set, and I think you had the parallel, I mean the subset on it, but these stated print run of 55. They don't really come up that often. They don't really sell for like as big as they probably could. But it's another set that's just like condition sensitive. It peels on the back, and if anybody takes like a crappy scan, I meant to put the picture of the back. It'll say PC on the back,
For
prize collection.
Yeah.
Next we got Fab 40. This is another set that everybody's numbered to their home run total. I think let's see what we have. 99 Sports Illustrated. We got. It's looks like probably about 15 players in this set, but you got like Canseco, Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, Sammy Sosa, McGuire. So there are some cool players in the set, and it really pops in hand. It's a really beautiful card. I brought up the Griffey photo too, and again, these are hand numbered on the bottom. Next up is 98 Leaf, super confusing set for most. I got like 6 left on my list for this tier, but as you can see right here, on the corners, it's the way it's die cut. So the regular one, again, these are numbered 250 on the back. Only the first 50 are die cut. And I don't know if it's because the set's confusing, but again, they don't bring like super huge money like some stuff in the era does. But it is a very hard card to find. And then here's the Diamond Access. This is from the right. So this is 98 Fractal Materials, where all the cards are different, materials. You got wood, nylon, plastic. And this set was just like the Matrix set, where it was like all the foil cards, and this is the parallel set for that. And these are really hard to find. The base Griffey doesn't come up that often at all. A couple times every couple of years. 90. So I have 3 of the 4 raves in a row. The 97 Circa Rave, kind of uninspiring, kind of just has the purple lettering, but they sell decent. They don't come up that often. Then you got the 98 raves, which probably getting closer to the 96s. They're kind of neck and neck. They're all numbered.
Yeah,
they're all numbered to 150. But like this set, I mean, it probably could have been a little better, but it does. They do pop. It does look kind of cool.
Some of the backgrounds of the players in the 98 are really, really cool, and same with the 97 too. I think
like the 97's cool. If they made like the name
purple, that'd be
that would have been dope.
So sick. Yeah.
Next, I had the Bound for Glory autographs. Again, this set was out of SPX, where the other ones on my list were going to be the Force. They'll be higher up, but those are actually out of SP. I wanted to check the. But the things that make this set tough is whatever pen they use this year for like a bunch of the insert sets, the autographs bubble. So to find like a clean looking autograph, is very tough. Because like 96, the commemorative one does it. This one does it, and then the Force does too. But this one's actually pretty clean considering. But it's it's only an 8, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then next, I had the 99 gold labels. This set, I put a picture of the back because they're supposed to be right here. there is not supposed to be. There is a serial number, you just can't see it. Whoever designed this definitely needs to be fired. Uh, but yeah, like, and then even the 101s this year, the only thing different is the back. The front still looks exactly the same. So I didn't really get that concept at all, but it is a beautiful looking card in general. It's just, nothing for a parallel. It's really nothing that crazy. Then I had the 97 finest and blush refractors. A lot of people actually like these better than the golds. But gold's one of my favorite cards. But yeah, again, this is like the birth of a super fractor pattern. They just pop in hand. They just like super pop. I could have probably found a better picture, but it's pretty deep checklist. There's a lot of stars in this set too. Then we got the 98 fusion refractors. Most of the players in the set, besides Frank Thomas, has David Ortiz on the back, but like, Ben Greaves on the back of this. So I think maybe having the two players kills it a little bit, but nobody really flips the card over anyway. So
Yeah.
but it's a cool looking set. And then let's see what we got here. So 97 precious metals. There's a print run of 100 on these, and there's platinum and gold and silver. 1 gram of whatever the player, like Griffey's platinum. We got like Jose Guillen, silver. But it's just it's a cool set. These are very popular. And then last time this rounds out my third tier is the 99 atomics, which is like after going from 98 to this is in my opinion, like doesn't make any sense. Like even in hand, it's kind of hard to almost tell the difference with the pattern.
Yeah.
It's got a little extra sparkle to it, but it's not really like, that great. These sell well, way more than I think they, probably should.
Yeah, I agree. The cracked ice pattern is actually in the lining of the diamond and the lining of Griffey of the player photo. It's so subtle. I'm like, why did you all do that? But anyways, yeah.
So that rounds out my tier
3. Yeah. Tier. Sweet. All right. Well then we'll stop here. And we're an hour and 20 in. So we've covered, Joe, you've covered your bottom 2 tiers. I covered mine. So for next time, next episode, I'll start off with my tier 4, and then I'll slowly catch up to you. Anything else, closing comments? Because we'll extend these out across multiple episodes, and that way people can just click and see bottom tiers or tiers 4 and 5 for this episode. Next episode will be tiers 2 through 4 between you two and me, and then we'll close out with I did one of ones if you want to do those, but then we can do like the top 2 tiers kind of for the last of these rounding out.
I mean, I'll review that. I mean, one of like in the 90s is literally only like 5 101s I'd consider like essential. The rest of them are like whatever. Well, because like I meant to go lower, I just didn't get to it, but there's obviously a ton of great inserts from the $25 to $100 range, which didn't get brought up here. Doesn't mean they're not good. Focused on like the higher end stuff, but we can always touch back on that too. So
So
I think that's good for now, and we'll
bring
it back. Pick it back.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.
Later.